Good morning. It is day 39. We just walked back down to the trail from Boots off Hostel. There's 321. That's where the trail comes across. It's 8 o'clock. We're doing about 16 miles to Iron Mountain Shelter. Had a really good stay at Boots off Hostel. Highly recommend it. It's new, it's clean. The owner, I think his name is Jimmy, does a good job. Very interactive with the hikers. He's got a guy helping him there named Grumpy, who didn't seem all that grumpy to me. I asked him how he got his name. He said, "You haven't seen me in the morning yet." I said good morning to him this morning, and I found out that he was aptly named. But first hostel, let's had a continental breakfast. Nothing fancy, just some milk and cereal, a little bit of fruit, donuts. Coffee. So enjoyed that. We're only doing 16. I say only 16. There's another group that's doing 23. Bunch of young hikers, a foursome. But Ringo and I have plans to meet people on Saturday, so it's not going to do us any good to rush to Damascus. As usual, I have too much food. If you're planning a through hike, I recommend not doing resupply boxes unless it's a place where you know there's not a good resupply. Because what happened to me, let me back up a second. I did boxes because I just retired. I was going a little stir crazy at home, so just to break up the daily routine, I started planning, making boxes. Well, the problem was I hiked faster than I thought I would, so I kept having an extra day of food. Plus I'd throw in like an extra bag of potatoes or an extra bar, and that just kept compounding upon itself until I had several days of extra food, and then I get another box. And before too long I got way too much food. Sent back a lot of food with my wife from Fontana. The box I packed for Dennis Cove ended up not even being sent here. I just at Irwin, I gave my extra food to my friends that had come to see me, and then they brought that box to Dennis Cove, and I still had too much food. Ended up giving some to the group of 4 that's behind me. So, and now I got too much food today, and I got a box coming to Damascus. So most of the people with me are not getting boxes, they're just resupplying in the towns. And with the exception of Fontana, so far you could easily resupply at all these places. So what I recommend then is, instead of boxes, you just resupply in the towns that you come to. And as others have said, if you pack up your boxes before you go, your tastes are going to change. And that's true, because here the last few stops I've been supplementing my resupply boxes with Little Debbie honey buns and peanut butter cakes, oatmeal cream pies, all the stuff I can't eat when I'm at home, but when you're walking 15 plus miles every day, it doesn't bother you. With that, we're starting to get a little elevation here, so I'm going to sign off for this segment. A reboot, heading north. a more tranquil part of Watauga Lake after you get on the other side from 321. The dam's right over there. We'll be crossing there in a few minutes. And here we are at the dam. Trail goes right across the dam. This is an earthen dam. And a lot of people describe this as a rock quarry, but I assume this is where they got the rock to make this earthen dam. I guess it was inevitable that they put a dam here, since it's kind of a choke point for the valley. Some of the locals told us there was a town underwater here. They told us the name of the town, but I can't remember it. Okay, on to Damascus. It's 11:45 and we've made it to Van de Winter Shelter. It's AT coming right through there. And down the hill is northbound. And right behind the shelter is a cliff with a bunch of garbage thrown down there. That sucks. And we're looking at the back of Watauga Lake and the mountains off in the distance that some of them somewhere we came across. Okay, it's time for peanut butter and jelly tortilla. Since leaving Van de Winter Shelter, the trail's been very meh. Just sparse forests, a lot of dead stuff, and no views. I hate to complain. The temperature is very warm. I think it's low 70s. And there's a little bit of humidity. So, but we just got in our minds that the day after tomorrow we'll be in Damascus. And we're only about 2.5 miles from Iron Mountain Shelter where we're staying. So we'll get there early and be able to relax. Hopefully the mosquitoes won't be too bad. We stopped for water about a mile and a half back, and the mosquitoes were out. So, alright, I'll check back in with you when we get to the shelter. So here we are at Iron Mountain Shelter. It's about 4:15. We got here at 3:30. So far we're the only ones here. And we've set up our tents out here in front of the shelter. This is going to be the wrap up for day 39. I'm getting ready to fix some food. We did 16 miles today. We could have gone on a little more, but there's really no purpose because we're going we're going to do 16 tomorrow and then 10 into Damascus on Friday. So just going to take it easy this afternoon. Getting ready to make some kind of north side with probably some tuna. And get some, I'm a little hungry today, which is unusual, so maybe my hiker hunger is finally kicking in. So once I get fed, it'll be all good in the woods.